barnstorming in Georgia. Senator Raphael Warnock and Republican Herschel Walker working every last vote in a final plea ahead of the runoff in the Senate battle. Polls open tomorrow after early turnout broke daily voting records 3 times last week. Now, if Warnock defeats Walker, Democrats will grow their majority in the Senate to 51 seats. That means if a particular vote splits along party lines, well, they'll no longer need Vice President Kamala Harris to break that tie. ABC News political director Rick Klein joining me once again for more. So, Rick, huge early voting numbers already. So do we know why so many people are voting beforehand?
Kira, it's interesting. There were fewer days of early voting overall, so the numbers could be juiced on any individual day. And Democrats actually say it's been motivating for a lot of their voters to know that there were some restrictions. The whole runoff window is even shorter than it was 2 years ago when famously the Democrats won those. So they know how to win in Georgia. They've run this play before. Senator Warnock actually won his seat in a runoff under similar circumstances 2 years ago after the last election. Advantage Democrats going into Election Day pretty clearly. They walk into the day with a large number of their votes already banked. Republicans hoping for big Election Day turnout.
So let's just talk about what's at stake for both parties here, given that Democrats already hold the Senate.
50-50 versus 51-49 matters a lot internally and externally, Kira. First, just on the committee makeup, 51-49 means Democrats will have an edge on every single committee in the Senate. That gives them advantage in moving nominations or legislation to the Senate floor. In addition, as you mentioned at the top, knowing that you've got that extra vote means that you may not need all 50 senators on any individual issue. You could, or 51, you could have a Joe Manchin or a Kyrsten Sinema voting against the rest of Democrats and still push something forward with that tiebreaker. Going into the next election cycle, having a little bit of wiggle room is probably a very good thing for Democrats and Republicans. Man, they need a victory here. Senate seats are for 6 years, and they also need to start showing that they can win again after the very disappointing results that they suffered a month ago.
Well, quite a switch in Herschel Walker's activity. He's kept a bit of a lower profile with the media in this final stretch. Why do you think that is?
And to borrow a football term, it's some prevent defense. They're hoping to just focus on their own voters, get them out there, get them to show up, and not really look at the externals. His interactions with the press haven't always been positive. He's had some meandering answers to things, including when he talked earlier this month without even a question about vampires and werewolves and the like. I think his advisors wanted to just keep him as focused as possible, and that means a lot less active campaigning even than his rival.
Well, Warnock did win in November. He just didn't cross that magic number, as you mentioned, of 50% to avoid a runoff. So let's talk about what's different now, Rick, compared to last month.
The two big differences are that there's only one thing on the ballot, this Senate race, and there's only these two candidates. No libertarian candidate, no third-party candidates like there were a month ago. And it means that you've got to get voters out specifically for this race. And for Republicans, that's a particular challenge. Not only did Walker fall behind by about 30,000 votes behind Senator Warnock a month ago, there were some 200,000 Georgia voters who voted for the Republican Governor Brian Kemp but didn't vote for Herschel Walker. Now you've got to convince voters like those that it's worth getting out on a random Tuesday early in December to vote just on this one race.
Well, it's going to be interesting to watch. Be an exciting day tomorrow for sure. Rick Klein, thanks so much.
Thanks, Kira.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.